In this video, I'm going to show you 3 reasons why you're not losing weight in 2020 and what you need to do instead so you can finally get that scale moving in the right direction. What's going on, guys? Carlo Macapinlac here from newbiefitnessacademy.com. I help busy professionals lose their unwanted body fat so they can fit better into their clothes, feel more confident, and get the most out of their lives. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit the bell to get notified every time I post a new video every week. Okay. Here's a fun little stat for you. Did you know that 80% of New Year's resolutions fail by February and only 8% are actually successful at achieving them? I don't know about you, but a 92% failure rate seems pretty tough to overcome. You have an 8% chance of succeeding. That's not even 1 out of every 10. And if you haven't lost any weight yet in 2020, I'm going to show you 3 reasons why and what to do instead so you can be part of that top 8 percentile. Number 1, you're not losing weight because you're just working out, but you're not dieting. Listen, I'm not saying that exercise is bad here. I love exercise. It's good for you. Like, one of the best things that you can do for your health is to be as physically strong as humanly possible. And there are so many benefits of exercise, but weight loss isn't one of them. I repeat, weight loss is not a benefit of working out. And in the back of your mind, you already know this to be true, right? Now, let me just ask you this, and you know for a fact that you know people like this. And I'm just gonna call a spade here because I'm all about speaking the truth. Notice how some people look the same even though they work out 5, 6, 7 days a week. They've been working out for weeks, they've been working out for months, if not years, but they look the same. Maybe you're one of them. Listen, these people, they have the right intentions. They wanna lose weight, right? So they exercise, but they have the wrong execution. And this all stems from the idea that a lot of people still believe in the energy balance theory, the calories in versus calories out model of weight loss, where people think that they can just eat a little bit less and move a little bit more, and they're gonna lose weight. They think that diet and exercise are equal players in the battle for weight loss. No, not even close. And this is such a big thing that a lot of people mess up on, right? Because they just fall in love with how many calories they burn during their workout when they're on the elliptical or the Stairmaster, on the treadmill, or whatever cardio machine you like using. The problem is, if you do that multiple times during the week, that is a classic case of something that's called chronic cardio patterns, where you're exercising just a little bit too hard and too frequently. Listen, if you always feel like you're dying, like you're completely dead after your workout, it's actually not helping with your weight loss goals. Let me repeat, if you exercise too hard and too frequently, you're actually hindering your weight loss goals. I'm gonna give you a second to digest that. Because it's actually been proven that exercise, especially the chronic cardio patterns I just mentioned, where you're completely dead afterwards, after your workout, makes you hungry. But not just that, it actually makes you more dependent on glucose for energy, which means that you are more likely to eat something that is high carb, high calorie, and high in sugar. And this is also called the overcompensation effect, where people justify eating shitty food just because they worked out. They'll say, oh, I burned 300 calories on my Apple Watch or my Fitbit. I can eat this 300 calorie donut. No, it doesn't work like that. And this is how people get stuck on that vicious cycle where they work out 7 days a week, but they're not losing weight. Also, these are the exact same people with the active couch potato syndrome, where they'll do their hour-long of spin class at 6 in the morning and then they're completely sedentary for the rest of the day. They'll take the elevator instead of the stairs, even though they're just going 1 floor up. They'll drive around the parking lot looking for the closest spot to the door instead of parking a little bit further away, because that's usually where the open spots are. They get completely lazy because they think that they've already fulfilled their physical activity quota of the day. That is the wrong way to look at exercise. And I don't mean to pick on runners, but they are the perfect example of people who follow these chronic cardio patterns that I'm talking about in this video. They do cardio workouts that are too hard and too long because, again, they're obsessed with the amount of calories that they're burning. They need to run like 5K or 10K a day. And companies like Fitbit and Apple Watches have made an empire from selling activity trackers to these people. The problem is, chronic cardio patterns trigger the fight or flight response in your body, which then triggers a cortisol response, which is your stress hormone. So your body then floods your system with glucose for immediate energy, which then triggers an insulin response and a corresponding glucose crash. And this is why you always crave like high carb, high sugar foods after like a really hard cardio workout. If you ask me, it's a lot easier to just not eat the donut than have to work out for 30 minutes or an hour just so you can justify in your head that you can have that donut. Like, stop rewarding yourself with food. You're not a dog. And the other problem is nobody really eats just one donut. You have one and your brain lights up like a Christmas tree. The reward system of your brain lights up, and the chances of you having another donut and drinking something sugary with that is pretty high. And I don't mean to pick on soccer moms, but I do a lot of my work at coffee shops, so I see a lot of these people, and they all follow a similar pattern. So they'll do their spin class, but then they'll go to Starbucks afterwards, and then they'll order their Choco Mocha latte or their crappy frappy, and then they'll have like a muffin or a breakfast sandwich with that crappy drink. You just erased all the good that you did during your hour-long workout by ordering those things, and then you just flooded your system with sugar, which then triggers an insulin response. And now your body has to work to store all that glucose in your system as fat, as body fat. And another problem with chronic exercisers is that they are under the belief that they need to replenish their electrolytes during their workout. So they're sold on the idea that they need to sip on Gatorade, Powerade, Bang, or Red Bull. They need to take their pre-workout and then their BCAA and then their protein powder afterwards. And yes, this includes the insidious 0-calorie and sugar-free version of the products that I just mentioned. Listen, those things are literally one of the worst things that you can put in your body. And even if you're an athlete, you don't need these sugar bomb drinks ever. And yes, I did say that you don't need to drink protein shakes. Eat your protein. And you actually don't need as much protein to build muscle as you've been led to believe. That's all bro science. And his name escapes me, so I'm gonna put his name in the description box here, but there's a high-profile marathon runner that was diagnosed with diabetes from drinking too much of the stuff that I just mentioned. Even athletes aren't immune to diabetes if you drink too much sugar. And I know I'm not gonna get sponsorships from all the companies that I just threw under the bus so far, but I don't care. I wanted to start with this because, you know, exercising for weight loss is still what a lot of people's strategy is to lose weight in 2020. It's not gonna work. Okay, number 2, you're dieting, but you're not working out. And I know this seems counterintuitive because I literally just spent the first 5 minutes of this video talking about why you shouldn't work out too hard. But hear me out. I am not contradicting myself here. There's actually a right way and the wrong way to work out. And that's what's really confusing about the fitness industry. Because the first part was all about energy balance. You think that all calories are created equal. Again, people fall in love with counting calories, especially when they're working out. But again, as you just found out, it doesn't really work. This is now looking at the broader picture in terms of your metabolism, the hormonal patterns, and physiological benefits when it comes to working out. Listen, if you want to lose weight, specifically body fat, diet is king. And that old saying is true about abs are made in the kitchen. You cannot outwork or outrun a bad diet. And if you want a proven plan on how to get your diet in check, then make sure you stick around until the end of the video. But again, all you need to know is this: 80% of your results will come from your diet, with the other 20% coming from supportive lifestyle choices like getting adequate sleep, following effective stress management techniques, and exercise. I told you, they're not equal players. Exercise matters, but it only plays a supporting role when it comes to your weight loss goals. So yes, you still have to do it because it has tons of physiological benefits, like it helps you build lean muscle, it makes your bones stronger, it increases your energy levels, it reduces your risk of chronic disease, it can help with your skin health, it can help with your brain health and memory, your body releases endorphins after your workout, so that's your feel-good hormones, and a lot of other good stuff. So you still gotta do it, but you gotta do it the right way. And I always say that your number one goal for exercise is to you need to constantly find ways to move your body and avoid prolonged periods where you're completely sedentary. Again, I'm talking about the active couch potato syndrome. You can't just work out for 1 hour and then be completely sedentary for the other 23 hours. So you always want to find ways to move your body, and then you want to do easy paced workouts below your maximum aerobic capacity. So you actually want to slow down your workouts. Like, you don't need to go for a 5K or a 10K run every day. That's too much. Plus, running that much, if you're not getting paid for it, is really hard on your knees and joints. Like, what's the point? And then a couple of times per week, you want to lift heavy weights, or if you're new to this, just do some body weight workouts. And then you want to do high intensity interval training style workouts because they help build lean muscle. Why is that important? Well, building lean muscle is the primary driver of your metabolic rate. Having a lot of lean muscle mass is also a very strong indicator of lifespan. And this is where the benefits of exercise goes way beyond just looking good shirtless. Like, I want you to think about elderly people here, okay? There is a world of difference between those elderly people that were not physically active for most of their life, so now they're frail, they fall down and then their bones break easily. So they're the rule. But then there's also the exception where you see a handful of these elderly people. They look amazing and they have like an amazing quality of life, even, you know, in their 60s, 70s, and 80s. And Mark Sisson, the author of The Primal Blueprint, is the perfect example of this. I think he's in his 60s and I think he looks better than people half his age. Like, which one would you rather be when you get older? Next, I want you to be inconsistent with your workouts. That's right, I want you to be inconsistent. What I mean by that is your workouts doesn't have to be confined within the four walls of your gym. Again, it's all about just finding ways to move your body. And that's the problem with just signing up for a spin studio, right? You just spin. Think about it this way. Our ancestors regularly walked 5 miles a day. They also climbed trees, they hiked mountains, they carried heavy rocks, they sprinted when they're hunting or when they're being hunted by a lion, they swam when they're fishing, and they were always constantly moving when they're in food gathering mode. They built shelters and they were all naturally lean and strong. So it's really all about modeling our exercise patterns to our Paleolithic ancestors because we're still genetically identical to them. So the idea is this: move your body, and then a couple times a week, do short, intense workouts. And then you want to do easy-paced cardio workouts below your maximum aerobic heart rate. So think less, but better. Okay, the last reason why you're not losing weight in 2020 so far is you're not putting yourself in the best position to succeed. Listen, weight loss is not easy, okay? If it was, everybody would just lose weight and be absolutely lean and shredded. And the last point that I want to make here is that, listen, human beings are not wired for self-control, which means that you need to put yourself in an environment to succeed. And it all starts with your environment at home. Listen, if you want to lose weight, one of your lowest hanging fruits is to do a complete purge of all the bad foods in your kitchen and, you know, pantry and fridge. Listen, if your caloric kryptonite is around your house, you might be able to say no to it for the first few days or the first few weeks of your journey when your motivation levels are running high. But that's the problem with relying on motivation and willpower. They run out. And when it runs out, next thing you know, you are going for that quick hit and oh, they just happen to be available in your pantry. So you can't even give yourself that option. And you need to 100% fully commit yourself to this lifestyle change. Don't think of it as a sacrifice. Don't think of it as a diet, because diets die. It's right in the name. Like, you think that there's an end to this and then you just go back to your old habits afterwards. No. Like, again, this is a complete lifestyle change. You know, you can't just do this half-heartedly. You can't just do this Monday to Friday and then just throw it all away, you know, Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday. That's like taking one step forward and then 2 steps back. And listen, if your friends make fun of you or give you a hard time, they make you feel bad about skipping beers or ordering a salad instead of eating nachos, then you need better friends. Remember, you are the average of the 5 people you spend time with the most. You're also the average weight of the 5 people you spend time with the most. So choose wisely on this. And another point that I'm trying to make when it comes to putting yourself in the best position to succeed is you need to track your food. And I know this sounds a little tedious, but you need to do this, especially when you're just starting out and, you know, the only diet that you've been following is the seafood diet. You see food, you eat it. Listen, you can't control what you can't measure, because you can absolutely overeat on even seemingly healthy foods. Like, let's use nuts for example. It's a great substitute for a snack instead of you eating like candy or granola bar. But there is a world of difference between you measuring like 30 or 40 grams of cashew versus just eating it straight out of the bag. Again, like I said, human beings are not wired for self-control. If you eat nuts out of the bag, next thing you know, you're staring at the bottom of the bag, wondering where it all went. Guess what? It's in your stomach now. Listen, at the end of the day, the human body is more than just, you know, a mathematical equation. It's not just calories in versus calories out. The physiological response of your body to whatever food you eat and the hormonal response matter greatly. Bottom line is you cannot reduce body fat on a diet that stimulates chronically high insulin levels. You just can't. It's almost impossible to do it. That's where getting your diet in check comes in. And again, stick around for a free plan that I'm gonna give you. And at the same time, you can't build muscle, which is really good for you, without working out. That's where exercise comes in. You need them both to work simultaneously. Just don't think that they're equal in your battle to lose weight. So the moral of this video is do both but do it properly and put yourself in the best position to succeed by fixing your environment and tracking your food. I told you I'm gonna help you move that scale in the right direction. The next question then becomes, how are you actually supposed to eat if you want to lose weight? Because here's the thing, 80% of your body composition is determined by your diet. You can't just freestyle this part. Do you have a proven plan that you can follow? To help you with that, I want to give you a free copy of my Lean Body Blueprint. This is how I melted all the fat around my stomach without depriving myself of my favorite foods or wasting hours at the gym. It's a simple 4-step process specifically designed for busy professionals, and it's the exact same blueprint that I teach to all my private coaching clients, and they've all gone to see some amazing results. If you want to be the next success story, then download your free copy of the Lean Body Blueprint right now. There's going to be a link somewhere at the top here or in the description box. Just click on it, type in your email, and I'll send it to you right away. All right, that's all I've got. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and share it with your friends. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I post a new video every week. And hey, leave a comment below if you have any questions about this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Virtual high five.